I really enjoyed it. I went there in, yeah, 61, and then I stayed there a month. And then I went to Kingston of the Eastern Pro League for 1 year. And the guy there was Ren Blair. So Ren Blair didn't like the way I played, so he sat me out a few games at the beginning, and he was just a guy that just everybody hated him. So Lynn Patrick, he phoned Lynn Patrick, said, "I don't want this guy. He can't play." So Lynn Patrick said, "Ren, you play him. We're interested in him. We're paying him. Put him on the ice." So as it happened, I played the rest of the year, and then I led the team in the playoffs. So at the end of the year at the banquet, Ren Blair came over to me and gave me a big pat in the back, said, "I knew you could do it." I just about nailed him. I was so mad. Yeah, there were some big names there. I remember like Johnny Busick, Murray Oliver, Orland Kurtenbach, Teddy Green, all those guys. Eddie Chadwick was a goalie for a while. Bruce Gamble was a goalie, and yeah, they were really really good guys to play with. And then they just give you a lot of encouragement, and just Johnny McKenzie was there, and they had a lot of really good players. What's his name from out there? In Western Manitoba, Dallas Smith, he was there. So there was a 3 or 4 guys from around this area. So it really wasn't it was an easy transition to go to camp. And then Teddy Green and Ken Stephenson were there. So the first camp was okay. I enjoyed it. I was a little nervous. I know we were in, like we used to go to Ontario all the time. So we trained in Niagara Falls. And then, but the other thing that helped was Milt Schmidt. Milt Schmidt was a coach, so he was really a good guy. I really liked Milt. He's a great guy, actually. Yeah, he was a cool, calm guy. He was a great guy. I really liked him, and he didn't put anybody down. He always tried to encourage you. When next year I went to camp, or a year later, Phil Watson was there, and that was just he's crazy. He's like that Tortorelli guy, I think, in New York. I ended up my first pro season. I ended up in Kingston, and we went right to the playoffs with Ottawa Hull, and Scotty Bowman was coaching Ottawa Hull, and we went pretty far with them, 6 games, and they beat us out at the end. But I ended up there. I had a good year. I led the team in scoring in the playoffs. So and then the next year, a quarter away through the year, Boston called me up, and then I went to Boston then. And then when I went to Boston, I was there 3 or 4 years, but my second or third year, I broke my arm. I shattered it at the boards, so they had to re-break it and give me a bone graft. So I missed a year, and then after that, I played a few months in that year, third year, I guess. And then the next year I came back and went to camp again, and they found a spot on my lungs. So I had a TB. They had sent me back to Boston to the doctor because I had a TB infection. So I missed another 3 or 4 months that year. So and then after that, I spent a couple of years in Hershey. It was a good league, actually. It was really good. Like Montreal had some really good players, and so did we. We had Tom McCarthy from Detroit. Bobby Addersley played some real good hockey. Ottawa Hull had Cliff Pennington and guys like that. Like they had some really Bobby Ralph Backstrom, I think, played for them, and a bunch of the guys that were going up to Montreal, like Cornwall and guys like that. So we had some. There was some good teams in that league, and then we went to Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury, and everybody had a smattering of guys that were going to pro or going to the NHL or had played in the NHL. So yeah, it was a good league, and I think it was good grooming for the NHL. You know, I didn't. I just Steph and Ken Steph and I became really good friends because he was right. He was from the Braves too, but Ren Blair was the coach, and he was just a real. I just I don't know. Nobody really liked him. You couldn't like him, and he was just a real on your back all the time, and he just kept on your back. He was on Steph's back and on my back. I don't know why he didn't like Western guys, maybe or something. But I look back now, and a few years back, I was thinking to myself, like I wasn't an arrogant guy or brash guy or thought I was uh, men's gift to hockey at all. I was pretty shy and laid back and everything. And when I think back to those days, I think to myself, how did I ever stick it out? I can't believe I stuck it out, and because we went through hell with him, and yet I just stayed there the whole time and played, and we lived in a little motel in Kingston, Steph and I, and I just we look back and think, how the hell did we ever do it? But we did it, and it worked out really well.